And one thing I'm going to say right off the bat is forgive me, I got that old hospital, nice little cough you get while you're during your stay, lovely stay. God, I can't wait to catch up on some sleep and all, but figured I'd go through with my promise. Told you guys when I get home, I was going to go live on a few things. Right off the bat, Sleuth, you kicked me from your life. Frank, the screenshots don't lie. The friendships you have around that drug ring, around cases down in Indy, doesn't surprise me that you don't want me talking about this drug ring. And one's like, Sleuth, when I talk about this drug ring, nothing to see about this drug ring, nothing to look at there. Laugh at me, kick me off your live. You can keep up with that. But just like I showed, if you look up Devin, Devin, Tooley, Toole, same one as Tooley, Trevor Tooley. And if you look back on Harley Babcock's page, she talks about her cousin, Trevor Tooley. She's actually family of Derek's. Uh, why do you not want me looking at this drug ring yet talking about this drug ring? It's the big question why. When I'm shown, if you look up Devin and Trevor's, among others, my cases, what's prevalently shown? Dealing, possession of scheduled substances, over and over and over again, down to even Oakley Snow's case. The killer. If you look up Rowan Waters, the killer of Oakley, who's friends with him? Devin Tooley? Oh, the same Tooley family that's family of Harley that's still in and around this drug ring? The same drug ring that Derek was selling for? His uncle Del Wood, uh, Joshua Lank, and a few others? But nothing to see here. The same drug ring that Nicole Bowen, family friends of both Anna and the Derek's family. Nothing to see here. Same drug ring that they killed Nicole Bowen off of. Nothing to see here. But yeah, Frank, I know you're gonna get this, and I know you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's going after me." Yeah, I'm going after you, just like your little buddy Greeno, that was using his YouTube funds to pay his meth dealer. It goes back to the same drug ring. Yeah, and if you want to call me out and call me a liar, say I'm talking lies, I'm just attacking you. The screenshots I've got with you, I straight up ask you about some names down in Indianapolis around some of the cases, and you're beating around the bush answers to some of these individuals. The screenshots don't lie. The names I brought up don't lie. Your friends don't lie. I've got the screenshots. And why you and a few others don't want me talking about this, just like Greeno goes to show his own face why he did not want me talking about this ring still to this day. Where was his money going that he's earning off of YouTube? Everybody made a big case about that. Oh, he was doing meth? Oh my God. Surprise. Now you see why he was covering for so many of his friends. And just like Greeno, his little buddies that was making death threats to me, he made sure to put in one of his last messages to me, I'm a snitch. I won't be nothing near how he is and reach his status. Greeno, who's monetized right now? Who's over 1,000? Who's not? Because the truth came out of who and what you are. You was using your funds to pay the same ones that are going around multiple kids missing killed cases. You're paying them. Some of the same individuals, the same drug ring that goes around missing killed cases, including kids. You're sick. Frank, Sleuth, and a few others, you're just as sick saying, oh, nothing to see here. When multiple cases, you go back and look what's shown. And I've spoke about this drug ring for ages now, since 2016, speaking about Karina's case. And one thing, and how I'm able to show you guys what I am and how I'm able to see some things, is from the very get-go. I started noticing some of the stalkers on my Facebook page that was coming from in and around this drug ring. And when I started noticing their names coming up, looking at, okay, they were trying to add me as a friend on Facebook. And I'm like, huh. Seeing this, and this friend, this dealer, this person, this suspect around this case, that goes back to this, and this case, is shown prevalently. It might be smart to add a few of these people, because later on, like now, when I'm speaking about this ring, the ties, the people in and around this drug ring, I'm going to need some proof on what I'm saying. And, well, they want to stalk my page. Well, so be it. Stalk my page from in and around this drug ring. And I've got one where Jamie, she was in the 2018 raids. She thought it'd be a smart, being one of the dealers, to add me as a friend. Not very smart. Along with a few of these names, was not very smart of you. When you're using social media, like platforms like Facebook, to connect yourselves back with your dealer buddies, to people in and around that same drug ring, from Indianapolis, Terre Haute, Delphi, Florida, among others, you're using social media to connect yourselves, make it easier for you guys to keep in touch. You're changing your phone number so much, but don't really change your social medias. So it's allowing you guys to keep communication with each other a whole lot easier. And while doing this exact thing, it's exposing you guys. But if you want, and you think I'm nuts on this, go back and look on Sleuth's page and a live he did a while back. I was kicked, I was laughed at, made fun of, and one of Frank's own wordings. If I'm going to get on their level, I will stop talking about this drug ring and the ties it has in around missing cold cases. Why is that? And I can put on my community page some of the conversations I had with Frank, and I asked him about some of the friends he had down Indy, and bluntly showed the friends back to suspects and themselves showing around missing cold cases. Bluntly asked him, see, your friends with so and so. Why is that? I got beat around issues, like beat around the bush. And makes me wonder, why you don't want me to talk about your same individuals that you're here sitting friends with still to this day, and issues back to other missing cold cases. You, Marvin, a few others, like Matt Sullivan, did not get started. And I've got the screenshots till you used a bunch of my intel, my information, things I was saying, to start your own pages off. For a fact. YouTuber Michael Phillips said this, and this, posting on all of your pages. But yet, you go back and look now, after you got started using what I've said, what I've shown, you deleted those. Not thinking I was going to keep the screenshot, knowing, just like Matt, you'd probably get going and delete the information that helped you get going. Hmm. Some of these YouTubers are not out for justice like they tried to make it look to you guys, like they try to say they are. They're there for a cash cow, they're there for fame. Look at me. But when it comes down to showing you the deep, dark truth that will get the justice for kids and adults alike, they won't show you it. I don't know if it's because they don't have the balls to, they fear about it, they don't want to bring up some of their friends. I don't know what it is. But like some of you know, I just got home from my one kidney. I'm now below 40% functioning, and later stages of stage 4 renal failure. For some of you that don't know what renal is, it's kidney failure. I've only got one kidney, it's my right kidney. Just got home from a stint in the hospital over that, and it's been over a year, and it's usually when the heat starts hitting. And I know the last couple weeks I was starting to slowly go down. I was starting to do more vitamin intakes, more water intake. But I started noticing when I'm just kind of wanting to sleep all the time and kind of just kind of slow, sluggish all the time for the last 2, 3 weeks. I had an idea it was coming on. Something I don't really talk about. It's not like I've said, I'm not trying to make this about me. What I can get, unlike some of you, what I can get out of this, my whole thing is from the very get-go when I stopped in one act of selfless service. Karina McClurkin. You guys can call me a liar. Yet has Kokomo PD, the prosecutor's office, same prosecutor's office, like Don Whitehead, KPD officers, many of you that jumped ship, just like the former detective that's now sitting on the coroner's office, jumped ship like 18, 19, 20 others after a video comes out yet live within KPD. And during that live, I got tired of being called a liar. I was bringing up a CSAM case where 2 children went missing. One of these children's cases, I had a mom and a grandmother track me down while I was on the streets of Kokomo. They met at the library, told me all about their daughter and granddaughter's case. She's missing. This is a picture. This is what she looks like. This is my number. If you happen to be out and about and see her, please get in contact with me. Lo and behold, it was that night. I was kind of out and about. Walked past the girl. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, what up? Is that her? End up calling the mother up. Middle of the night. Hey, what does she kind of look like again? What was she kind of wearing? The backpack she had. All matched. Other than she changed clothes, had a different hoodie on, and still had the same backpack. I ended up following her to what is known as the Kokomo Towers, and gave this mom the information. And lo and behold, a child sexual predator that was on the run, had warrants, and within 48 hours, 2 children were found at this child molester's apartment. Even with having warrants on him, police were talking to him. Didn't take him in on the warrants. Nothing. He was walking. I brought that up in the 2018 case. Like when I was talking to KPD. This is the same live video where somebody put so much trust within the Indiana State Police, where I've got one of their own detectives saying, along with KPD. They had over 40 child exploitation cases. And what do we know about the Delphi case? The child exploitation, Keegan Klein, the same Keegan that was trying to say, oh, he went to Vegas for weed, but yet you have a individual within that drug ring at that time knows damn near what like he's talking about. Klein didn't go to Vegas about weed. He was sent by that cartel and individuals like Gabe Ellis with money, and he was sent to Vegas to do a simple act along with his buddy. Take this money, meet this said person, get our product, the meth, and bring it back. When you bring it back, here's a nice payday for you. And the live with Blaine, you're going to see right there. He's bluntly telling you guys he was around that cartel drug ring that was busted 2018. Actively one of the dealers within that drug ring. Blaine blatantly puts that all in front of your guys' faces. But yet nothing to see here when you got an individual from within that drug ring speaking out. And I felt truthfully, after he made contact to Gabe, he was silenced when some of his own buddies was letting him know, hey, he's talking about this drug ring. He's letting this, and this out. He was silenced like Nicole Bowen. Different way of being killed, but silenced nonetheless for speaking the truth and speaking out about this ring. Same drug ring Nicole was killed over. But yet nothing to see here. When this drug ring ties back to individuals dealing for it, like Derek and others, they had debts owed to this drug ring. These dealers, both monetary and drugs, owed back to this ring. And if you think I'm lying on this, look up the documented facts when it comes to this cartel. Sinaloa cartel. When money and drugs are owed back to this drug cartel, they don't attack the ones that owe them and have a debt with them. What they do is attack young and old, family members, close friends, sons, daughters, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, young and alike. They do not go after the ones that owe them the debt. They go after the family and close friends of the individuals that owe them over and over and over for years now. That has been documented, that has been shown for a fact. Why do you want to go after the person that owes you? Kill the debt when you can act around daughters, sons, close family members of this individual. Scare the living God out of them. Get that debt paid off. If you don't pay this debt off, we will keep going until you decide to. Look how many cases it's been talked about, young and old alike. Even in Mexico. Dismembered. Beheaded. Thrown on the streets. And it's not just Sinaloa cartel, it's other fighting cartels. It's one thing they all are alike on. The brutality and the senseless murders. Over and over and over again. It drives me crazy when I got people tell me there's nothing to see there. When, like I'm showing, Devin Tooley, Trevor Tooley, Harley Babcock, Derek Sherman, Del Wood, Joshua Lank, Garrett Kurtz, Ashley Garth, Gabriel Ellis, Tyler French, Jamie Saltz. Shall we keep going? Actively dealing for what? Cartel drug ring. Originating in where? Kokomo, Indiana. It's not just me saying it. There's documentation of this drug ring being uh, busted. You've got documentation that even goes back to 2018. Uh, Even before that, 2008. You got Derek Sherman, money theft. That money was going back to where? The same drug ring that he was dealing for. You got him and Dustin Prater, the money theft. And I believe, of all people, what family and whose father was working at that not drug, but the ammonia plant where they stole the exact ammonia to go back to make the meth out of? Toby Garth. Ashley Garth's father. Close family friends. You go to a close family friend of yours' place of work. And still the one key ingredient to make meth was Toby, Ashley, and a few others getting kickbacks from this ammonia theft. And if you look, the ammonia theft, 2008, they refused, both Dustin and Derek, to name the individual they were going to give the ammonia to manufacture the meth. But then, if you look at Prince William Road, 100 South, just down the road, you take Prince William Road, it's going to take you to, guess where? The Monon High Bridge. That area. Just down the road. You've got a father stealing ammonia to make what? Meth. Giving the ammonia to what? A dealer that knows how to make the meth. Right down the road. Not only that, but at the time, many doing what? Under that bridge. It's been said, making meth. Now, same location. Nothing to see here. Not when the same drug ring Nicole Bowen was killed over, when they were afraid of her doing what? Speaking about this ring. Many think I'm nuts, but like I've told some people, the flag that's going to be over my casket, I earned. This ring doesn't scare me. My own body is trying like hell to take me out. Who's going to take me out first? My own body? My kidney failure? Am I going to drop down with seizure? Not come out of it? My own body's fighting me. Harder and more physically than this drug ring has ever. Yes, there's been more than once, physically, this drug ring has attacked me. I've got an orbital eye socket I still need surgery on. It hurts to even so much as shave my left eye. That area. My mustache, my beard, anything around that area. That's how sensitive it is. So I get those steel plates put in my orbital eye socket from a physical attack. It's the same drug ring that had over 16 cars in front of my ex's home that I was staying at with her and her family. Didn't expect them to come following me there, but boy did they ever. My ex, her mother, we all seen, both in front of the house as well as the neighbors. And it's pretty sad when one of the neighbors was meth heads. And they said they had guns and they were ready to, knowing we had kids in the house, to act if they needed to be. A little old lady right next door. Little old black lady. Before we knew her Grandabee's name, we actually knew her as joking around with each other. Medea. Little Medea right next door. Just like Medea, she has a revolver in her little bitty purse. She carries with her all the time. This little old lady, she waits for somebody to fuck around and find out. I didn't believe her until she's like, "Oh, so you don't believe me about this little thing I carry with me all the time, youngin'? I ain't no fool." But yeah, this is our next door neighbor. She's seen all these cars, about 16 of them, 17 of them, and it's the same cars that KPD made sure to cover up. When I had neighbors around us saying they had weapons at the ready, just like I had inside the house, and I can get the 911 call to you as well as showing KPD you're making up lies to cover up these individuals' why. When over 16 of them were getting out of cars, all armed to the teeth, not just 16 people, there were bunches of people packed into a car, all armed to the teeth, going behind a house in the alley, the backyard amassing, the front yard amassing. They weren't going to a non existent party at a drug dealer's house 6 houses down. They were going in front and behind a certain house on Walnut Street. But yet, when the 911 call came in, I told KPD what was going on dispatch. I told them, I'm armed to the teeth. Anybody gets through this, you don't have enough cooler space and you don't have enough body bags. If they make entry, I will shoot to the last person that's killed, be it me or them, that keeps coming through this door. You've got the option of either coming, stopping this on your own, or letting this happen. And like I told them, you're not going to have enough cooler space. I'm a hell of a good aim. I'm trained unlike these wannabe street soldiers. You don't think I know how to bob and weave, get around cover, shoot around cover, urban combat training? Unlike these little punks, if they're going to come through a doorway, a bottleneck, we call it, you don't think I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do? Knowing the family is upstairs, out of harm's way, to get to them, you got to go through me. I had more than one ability to keep shooting. I had more than enough ammo. You think I wouldn't have stacked these bodies up to protect the family and kids? You're nuts. It's like when I was in. Not proud. Some things I had to do. Thinking it'd be the first time I've seen a body. Being the first time I've seen a bullet hit a body from my own gun. It wouldn't faze me of doing things to protect the people I love. Even to this day, I'm armed to the teeth. An individual close to this drug ring, still involved, still doing the meth, Pizza Face Page, tried taking my Second Amendment right. The judge's own words. Your baseless claim of trying to pretty much take my rights to arm myself was baseless. Dragged me into court on a baseless claim that had nothing, no proof whatsoever of any threats to her or her family, other than me talking about their ties to this ring, their involvement, and them trying to shut me up, knowing if they could get me unarmed for their friends, I could be silent so they wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. I told a few I'd be doing this live And like I said in the description, my gift book's broken. My body's already killing me. I'm still waiting for an A positive blood type donor, be it friends, family, somebody listen to this right now. If you're an A positive blood type, you want to help me with a kidney to keep this fight going? For the love of God, I've only got my right kidney. I'm now below 40%. And when I say 40%, that's function. I'm well below half of my kidney functioning to keep me alive. Kind of scares me now knowing when, while in the army, all it took is one shot to my right kidney. I'd been dead. Didn't know then what I know now. I only had one kidney. But it's just individuals from in and around this sleuthing community laughing at me, telling me to shut up. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see about the whole drug ring behind, like, Nicole Bowen's murder. Same drug ring shung around Mia Rell's murder. She didn't kill herself. There's family of hers. I can show you the conversations with close family. The ex girlfriend she just broke up with. Mia was the third person, one after another. Shortly breaks up with this person and becomes the third, not the first, not the second, but the third ex after shortly breaking up with this individual that comes up dead. Suicide. 3 suicides after breaking up with the same individual, one after another. But then you've got even a doctor, family member of the Mia, speaking out. What the coroner is trying to say was a suicide. The numbers don't match. The quantity. What killed her does not match. Things that KPD did not say, like the stage bong next to her, the staged beer can next to her. I've heard this family say, just like her cell phone, almost a month missing in the cold, wet, rain, snow, was found right next to her on the path. Was able to turn right on. Held a charge for over a month without being plugged in. Through the elements, yeah, it was a little warm that winter, but through the elements, rain, snow, sleet, rain, cold, was able to be picked right up and turned on. Things don't match up with what they're trying not to say. And I'm not nuts when I speak out about a suicide that the coroner's office deemed a suicide. There was an individual out of Kokomo. He was about like an uncle to me. Close family friend for years. And his own mom at his own funeral and family spoke out. Still to this day. He had guns and money missing out of that house. Why would you put a CPAP machine on that keeps you alive when you're sleeping just to wake up hours later on and shoot yourself? Having wrist brace on that makes it even harder to turn around and shoot yourself in the head with a handgun. If you know anything about the wrist brace, it kind of immobilizes your hand to do certain movements that would really assist on helping you shoot yourself. You'd keep the CPAP machine on and running when your mother finds you. The CPAP machine was still running to keep this individual alive while he was sleeping. But yet, KPD tried doing that as another suicide with the coroner's office. Like I said, you got Mireille's own family speaking out. She didn't do that. Some of the things that were staged next to her body that they did not say, that this family knows. Like I said, the bong and the beer. Neither one of those showed in the whatsoever levels in her toxicology. There was no weed. There was no alcohol. But they were staged right next to her body. I'm gonna drink some alcohol. I'm gonna get high, take some pills, kill myself. Not to see here, but things staged next to the body don't show up in the toxicology? Huh. How about that? That came from her own family. They reached out to me, asking me why I didn't keep going on her case against this ring. Yeah, it was a close family member of hers. Asked me directly, why did I not keep going? My direct answer to them, if you would have reached out as close family, I would have kept going. But it's the same thing I showed then that I showed now. The mom of this ex, was showing in around this drug ring. Then to come to find out, over 3 cases, shortly after individuals breaking up with this ex, it's suicide, suicide, suicide. What is it, a mom? Oh, if you break my daughter's heart, I'm gonna break your face, break your life, take your life, and able to have individuals within this drug ring. And you think I'm nuts when I'm saying KPD and a few others are going to be able to cover this up. Look back at Heath Evans. Come to find out, the same officer stealing fentanyl patches from little old lady is the same officer that was high on duty. Come to find out, the same officer that was buying narcotics off the same drug ring while behind a badge. When it talks about me hearing a mother talk about that covers up and keeps silent on the drug ring, her and her other daughter gets meth still to this day, Marlena Smith, Karina's mother. You talk about a Kokomo firefighter paying somebody sexually trafficking your own daughter. Stone Cold telling me to my face that a firefighter paid to go again and ended up killing your daughter out of Kokomo Fire Department. Same fire department that you had a firefighter, for a fact, exposing himself to a little kid, babysitter. For a fact, it did happen. You got a police officer, others, showing around this drug ring actively. You got one stole fentanyl patches, was high off his ass on duty behind a badge, for a fact. The corruption shows for itself within both the fire department and the police department. Then it goes into individuals like the coroner's office covering up cases. And I've seen this from my own eyes, what he was about like an uncle, like I said. When his own mom, his own family saying, hey, he was missing guns, he was missing money out of the house. Like I said, had a CPAP machine on and running. And if you don't know what a CPAP machine is, it keeps you breathing while you're asleep. Sleep apnea, where you stop breathing. Why are you going to keep a machine on your face, pushing oxygen into your body while you're dead? Don't add up. Made sure not to say anything about, oh, the CPAP, the not drugs, but the money, the guns missing out of the house, the CPAP machine being on and running when a mother found him, The wrist brace on his wrist made it even more of an impossibility to turn around and shoot yourself how they're saying he was found. Hmm. I'm not afraid of speaking about this ring and the ones in and around it. Some of you guys are. I've spoke about them about, 2016. And it stopped with me. It started with me stopping and helping one person. One act of selfless service. Part of it was I knew, for being an FBI informant, that's one of the first places I go try to get something done. The FBI. This is the same FBI I can prove to this day. You think I'm nuts? Look around the same time frame. 2 Florida shootings. The New Mexico Jihad compound. At the New Mexico compound, it took an FBI informant to speak out to the masses. I was an informant for the FBI within the New Mexico compound. FBI knew about intel. They gave it to what? The locals. That allowed a 3-year-old to die at that compound. FBI comes out admitting they knew intel, failed to act. Just like a elementary school getting shot up, a nightclub getting shot up. Same time frame. One thing I was noticing, if it did not involve anything right-wing extremism during the time of Comey being the head of the FBI, if the FBI did not see anything right-wing extremism, right-wing, they didn't care about looking. Those 3 cases, that doesn't tell you what I'm saying, and I can prove to this day Michael Curtis, the same Michael Curtis that Don Whitehead with the Howard County Prosecutor's Office found out that I was not lying about, not showing text communications with an agent and me, the informant. Michael's now retired. He retired after allowing more than one missing toad case to happen, including 2 little girls in Delphi. They knew intel about Delphi and other cases that led back to Carinas. Names and individuals around that case that was showing up that showed up around other cases. They knew intel and failed to act. It cost 2 little girls their lives. And I've been speaking out from that very moment. After seeing that, and I can still prove, I've got recorded conversations, phone calls, I've got texts, emails with this agent. That's how little trust I started having within one of the first 2 agents that showed up and was involved in Delphi. How little trust I had within 2 agents. What they were there in Delphi and how they were so quick to be involved within Delphi was my intel. It was individuals that was in my intel and my files. They were there following up on my intel. The same Michael Curtis, they had FBI agent over me. I've got during the 12th, 13th, 14th, ended up being paid to 15th. Tell me personally, both in text and in person, on these phone calls. We're up here involved in Delphi. I'll pay you when I can. I was already slated to be getting paid off the intel I provided to the FBI the week when Delphi took place. And I've got facts that can show you one of the 2 agents, first 2 involved within the Delphi case, One is a field service agent, Michael Curtis, with the Joint Terrorism Task Force, Indianapolis Field Office, is one of the first two names that became and got involved in Delphi case for a fact. Then you're going to have individuals like Brad Holder, a right-wing extremism group called Sons of Odin, that, oh, the one that gave Ellis. Gabe Ellis is involved. Brad Holder, Abby's boyfriend's dad. He sits in my files. He's one of the main reasons why they were up there, following up on the Sons of Odin. They were asking me to look into Delphi, Logansport, Peru, that area. A couple months before Delphi even took place, I was already being told to look towards Delphi on a certain couple groups that they deemed a threat. And the same groups that show up, you've got over 2 dozen of these names that I found within these groups. One name that goes back into over 3 federal armed standoffs with the feds. A name, Frank Castiello. You think I'm nuts? Look up Tony Slocum's Facebook page. Go down, find a retired sheriff out of Michigan. He played a major role in 3 armed standoffs. Is in my informant files for over 7 years as a domestic terrorism threats. I can give you about 2 dozen other names that sit on Tony Slocum. Indiana State Trooper, friendless, still to this day, just like Frank. That, guess what? Sit in my informant files that back me up. I'm not going to say what legal team and when this is going to happen, but before I go under a gag order, when it involves Delphi, I'll see you guys at the stand. Derek, Becky, Anna, what you guys are hiding, you don't want the public to see, is going to come out on that stand for all to see. Can't keep a clean image when I take that stand on what you knew, still to this day, and what you're not wanting the public to know. Multiple people within both sides of the family dealing for the same drug ring. Your family friends, even family at times, show up to current cases like Oakley Snows. But nothing to see here. It will all come out when I take that stand. And it's the same other names that the prosecutor's office even knows. But yet, you see, during Richard Allen's case, they're not really speaking about these other individuals. This drug ring, these ties. It's only going after one individual. And I'm sick to my stomach even saying this or thinking about this, but the name that they got for Karina's case, Karina's own mom, never named as the killer. They called her daughter. That came from the mom herself. Just like I got conversations with both Becky and Anna that neither one of them want the public to see. I'm more than willing to show the public what you don't want me talking about, let alone showing. I got full conversations with both of you on some things, like Becky. Some of these names, yeah, they do show up around this ring. Yeah, these names, they sound familiar, yes. But yet, nothing to see here. And these same names show up around Nicole Bowen's case, Logansport fire, the 2 that walked alive out of there, close friends with this drug ring, close friends with Gabriel Ellis. The dad of the kids in Logansport found dead before the law even gave him a chance to find out about his children, lives being taken. There's a dealer in Marion, Indiana, Javon Blackwell. His two children was executed in front of him for what? The money from his dealing for the Kokomo ring. And he was killed shortly after. The drug ties back to his name, his children's murders. Shown. Anybody that wants to listen to Tina Riddell, don't do it. That lying bitch is covering for her daughter and her family like a known drug dealer. One of the bigger dealers under Gabe out of Florida. That's still to this day. If you look up Christy Lynn Martin, Florida, Indiana, look up her, my case, dealing, proven, back to that Kokomo raid, 2018. One of the dealers in Florida. Look up Florida firefighter Anthony Thomas that sits on a Florida, one of the bigger known about drug dealers. You've got Anthony Thomas that works for who? Florida firefighter that's close friends with a known meth dealer in Florida, but nothing to see here. You got ones like Drew Yoder, friends with corrupt cops. He's now a canine officer for Carroll County Sheriff's Office. He's friends with corrupt individuals, one after another, and that's a fact. Not just saying it, but a fact. Like Keith Evans, the corrupt police officer out of Kokomo PD. Look his case up. Stealing fentanyl from a little old lady on a well-being case. He was called there to help this little old lady. End up stealing fentanyl patches from this little old lady. Putting them on. Asking her to make sure how to put them on correctly. Being proven. Found to be high on fentanyl. Wow. In uniform, on duty, behind the badge. And you think me talking about corruption? It's not possible. It's not going on. The same Indiana State Police Department, a detective saying, we were short funds. We were short manpower. But yet we're going to refuse to ask for federal or anybody else's help. Go back and watch that video with KPD and open your ears. That's the detective for Indiana State Police Department and Kokomo Police Department. Both still to this day admitting over 40 child sexual molestation, rape, among other charges, were sitting cold on their desks. 2018. Over 40 cases they were laughing, making jokes of, making excuses. It's the same Indiana State Police Department many of you put your trust in. The same Kokomo Police Department you believe. Go back and listen to that video. That's 40 child exploitation charges. Out of that 40, what we know about now about Delphi was this 2 little girls, part of those 40 names that we proved now, just like 2018 with that detective with the Indiana State Police. What did Indiana State Police come out and find later on? Oh, Keegan Klein, same time frame. Sexual exploitation of Libby. Had plans to meet Libby right there at the bridge. You know, so that's not being really talked about, but yet it's there. It's a fact. They didn't let that out, so now I think Carter needs to be pressed against the wall, where he's got one of his own detectives admitting, along with a local PD close to that area, where you had 40 child exploitation charges like the girls sitting cold on desks. And some of the same stories we're hearing about the Delphi case, what was involved, and it's just not coming to light. Sitting on whose desk? And people think I'm crazy. I'm nuts. Do your research. Look where I've been trying to tell you to look. Look at some of these names: Devin Tooley, Trevor Tooley, Ron Waters, Oakley Snow's killer. But I'm nuts. Don't look at the drug ring. There's nothing to see here. My ass.